out of contention of not getting last at this point, but they could definitely still have a couple of good runs left.
Well, I mean, the real fun of League is just getting some games in and getting to enjoy the competition.
For sure.
And
right,
and every League member is capable of taking a game off of everyone else, at least in my opinion, for the Invitational League.
I would definitely agree about that. Looks like we are off, and we have a divergence right away. Kyong starting at Sanctuary, and Nilsson is doing the Uncle start here.
Yeah, we got some filthy Uncle routing going on, but that's all right, because that increases the odds of the ball and chain guard becoming a boss, depending on what we find over here. Bombo's not going to be enough.
We did get a full magic from the triple. Unfortunately, we don't have a sword to use the bombs yet, but we do have a hook shot. That's pretty sweet to get early on.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with a early hook shot like that.
Yeah, I mean, already Nilsson has like infinite more progression than Kyong, so pretty strong lead here.
I mean, 1 is, I guess, infinitely more than 0, sort of. I won't argue with that.
Who knows? Maybe Bombos is required too, so it could be like twice infinite.
I'm no mathologist, Walther, but that sounds like $40 bajillion worth of progression.
Yeah, do have a big key in the Lost Forest though. A big key for Eastern Palace. Okay, that's an interesting early big key to get, because you really only need that big key and the bow to beat Eastern. One of the lowest like requirement to beat a dungeon.
Yeah, definitely. It does also put that big chest in logic, technically, so it makes the Eastern Palace decision a little bit more murky.
Yeah, for sure. Because like in all dungeons, key sanity, you kind of know that you might have to double dip a few dungeons here and there, but when you're only like one item away from being able to full clear it, it's definitely a bit more of a questionable decision if you should go in or not.
Yeah, the real key to, I'm honestly, we were joking about it earlier, but I'm a fan of this mode. It really rewards thorough playing, solid writing, solid routing rather, and just really solid decision making. Like if you're gonna full clear in all dungeons, key sanity seed, doing it in a fast manner that's efficient is rewarding. And what else is rewarding? The bottom of Blind's Hut.
Definitely is. It was a big key for Third Rock, I believe, and a sword to get a map for Feast on as well. A little bit less valuable since we have to beat all of the dungeons in a way. So finding out which dungeons or crystals and pendants are not super important quite yet. But that bow, okay, we already have 1 dungeon fully completable. Not technically by logic because of the lamp, but still.
For runners of this caliber, lamp not required. Wow, 2 swords. Can't argue with that, I guess.
Yeah, 2 swords. Interesting. That puts first chest in Naga Tower in logic already. Something to keep our eye out on. Get a flute and have 2 swords. Might as well get 2 bows as well.
I guess. I mean, you could put your sword in the bow and then try to launch it. I don't know if that would work. They seem too heavy. But you would have backups of either in either case.
If you would have told me 4 minutes ago that 4 minutes from now Nilsson and Kyong would both have a sword and a bow each, but different bows and swords.
I was gonna say, but they wouldn't be from the same location. Well, I mean, honestly, who's gonna argue with early silvers in a non-retro seed, right? I mean,
yeah, for sure.
You're always having a good time at that point.
That's the dream. Very good of Kyong here to remember to actually activate the flute. Something that's a pretty easy detail to miss sometimes in Kakariko, but quite important. So.
Yeah, the flute doesn't work unless you play the magical song. I've seen many runners, including myself at times, be you know, on a screen transition away, and then you realize, oh crap, I never activated my flute.
Yeah, luckily, if you get flute early, that normally means that you would try and flute from the race game, most likely. So at least at that point, you would get reminded before you leave Kakariko too far behind.
Yep, very true. Wow, simultaneous Master Sword pulls from 2 different locations. That's the kind of high intensity action I like seeing.
Pretty crazy. Who would have believed that a sword would fit into such a tiny chest? Okay, we have a small key on that library. That's going to be important to remember, seeing as we will need quite a few small keys. Kyong is actually not doing this blind. I was thinking about maybe they're gonna try that, but he gets rewarded for not doing it. Maybe he decided not to because he only has 2 bombs at the moment and not enough money to buy more.
Yeah, I mean, in all dungeons key sanity seed, the odds of whatever is in race game being required is higher than normal, but yeah, it's not like you won't be able to see it. So, and speaking of seeing it, a small key visible but not knowable like what it is like kind of annoying, because there's a whole bunch of small keys that are super relevant, like Castle Tower keys or the Swamp small key or something like that.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to keep in your mind, because if you see like a big progression item there, I think that's like easier to remember, but sometimes those small keys can kind of like fall out of your mind. Do get a pair of gloves though, so that's one of the first important piece for our Darkwood access here.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Master Sword Beams is gonna make Mini Moldworm Cave. The Generous guy is not gonna be holding on to his items for very long.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Meanwhile, we do have from NilssonAlex, we do have a kind of Eastern Palace area play, and again with the bow and the big key, like, makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think this makes a lot of sense. Like sometimes you can try and skip it for a little while, see if you can maybe do pod at the same time, but seeing as we need so many keys for pod, it's kind of unlikely to get to full clear both of them at the same time.
Oh, speaking of keys for pod, there's one. And yeah, I think with the flute, the cost of, you know, because normally you would just have to run all the way over here, and like that's where the real like pairing it with pod and the mirror benefit would come from. But when you have the flute and you already have everything you need, it's kind of like, you know, the cost of going over here is a lot smaller than usual, I think.
Yeah, so it looks like they're both having the same thought process here. They did like a little bit of overworld after Kakariko each, and then just headed here for Eastern.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we'll have simultaneous Eastern Palace clearing here.
Yeah, Nilsson is gonna have just a slight better routing in this dungeon because of the hookshot.
Yeah, very true. He'll save himself some time getting that chest. Although it'll be probably less than the time that Kyong is ahead of him, just coincidentally in this dungeon, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of which, Kyong is about to do the hardest puzzle in any Zelda game. Oh my god, the switch to the door was under the center pot the entire time. Walther, can you believe it?
I do believe it, because I actually saw it.
Can you also believe Moonpearl?
Yeah, that's a nice pickup. Just a hammer or a second globe away from Darkwood access, or a lamp
or lantern. Lantern.
Aga keys.
Yeah, keys, very true.
I mean, obviously, both small keys are gonna be vanilla.
Isn't that always how that works? Wow, Kyong with the advanced Stealthos room strats.
Yeah, if there's one thing Kyong is known for is pretty slick and clean execution, and definitely showing it out there.
Oh, there's a reason Kono Hypers have 18 points in the league so far, that's for sure. It's not collusion, Walther. I know you were about to say that, and it's not that. I just want to be very clear about that.
Can you read Mine's files?
If I could, I wouldn't want to get anywhere near yours, buddy.
That's actually fair.
Well played. Well played. All right, so we got some darkroom action going on here. Sword beams makes this relatively straightforward. Alex does have a nice little advantage with the hook shot there, but looks like the Stalfos were in his way, so.
Yeah, that's always a little bit annoying. Very nice damage boost strat here from Kyong. With the amount of hearts that our runners have right now, you want to take minimal damage, because the upcoming darkroom here could actually be a little bit dangerous if you're low on hearts.
Yeah, and actually Alex, with only 2 hearts, will be in a little bit, have a little bit less options here, perhaps.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to go for it, but he's just going to play it safe here. Because even if he went for it, he still wouldn't even go up to full health after grabbing the pots there.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, you know, take 5 seconds to not lose a minute kind of gambles. Or I don't know if it's a gamble, it's just a strategy, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's worth just playing a little bit more safe.
Knowing your limits and what you've practiced and what you're capable of doing versus wasting time on something that you're perhaps not as well versed on is definitely the sign of a solid runner who kind of knows what their limits are.
Yeah, it's this is not like an NMG run where you have to go for the fast strats to get your PB. You can just sometimes go a little bit slower to make sure you have a bit more consistency. Unfortunately, he did get hugged a little bit in that dark room. So
that is
too many smoochers there. So he has to try it again.
Yeah, that is honestly, like, I don't know about you, Walter, but like in terms of like dangerous dark rooms, like if you're slightly under equipped, I think that room in Eastern has got to be like up there, if not number 1.
Yeah, it's like it is in one way one of the simpler dark rooms, but as soon as it starts going a little bit wrong, then like all of it just breaks loose at the same time.
Oh yeah, well there's just so much RNG because of the, you know, the enemy patterns in there. And you can't really see them or account for them or predict them unless you have like more advanced gear, so.
Yeah, it looked like what happened was that he shot the arrow but poked the Igor at the same time. So it didn't really die to his first arrow, even though he hit him, and at that point they just started surrounding him.
Alright, we got round 2 here. I mean, having already picked up the key, the room is a little more straightforward, so. And he's already up the stairs, so we should be good here. So yeah, an unfortunate bit of time loss, but not the end of the world. But against a player like Kyong, like you can't really afford to. You can't leave a lot of minutes on the table against that guy.
Mm. And by straightforward, you mean diagonal left, right? Because you don't want to go straight forward in that room.
well, yes, Walter. Yes. I Captain Literal strikes again. Actually, Files, I'm not really a captain. I'm more of a colonel.
Reading my mind, so if we agreed on that.
Maybe you're just hungry for popcorn. I'm not here to judge. All right, so we do have the escape area and uncle area check from Kyong here. And again, this is ground that Kyong's opponent has already traveled, so.
Yeah, but I think it's very likely he'll go into the front escaper as well. So he'll get those 4 extra checks there and probably get the first one in Agate Tower as well. Having that massive sword.
And he'll be real happy to pick up that hook shot there. So I'm curious where Alex is going to head to here. Interesting. Okay, so doing a Agena Desert Ledge eyeball check there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a little bit interesting because there's no way, well, it's very unlikely that he's going to be able to beat Desert here. But he is going into Agena here first, just in case he gets like at least one of the the pieces of the puzzle for desert. Like if there's a small key for desert in here, then at least you can get like 2 extra checks in desert. Looks
Yeah,
like he's
definitely.
actually just going for this. I'm gonna say and quit. Maybe do the rest of South Shore.
Seems pretty reasonable. Again, the early flute does make kind of like the actual routing a little bit more forgiving in terms of time differential. Like if you have to physically walk everywhere, you have to be a lot more, I guess, cognizant of, you know, where your routing is, because you know you can't really band-aid it with a flute easy teleport kind of thing. I eventually wrestled that sentence to the ground.
Right, Nilsson getting his gloves here as well, so he might head for back of escape and then finish up the front as well. Or potentially, we do have quite a lot of items open in the on the mountain at the moment, both in and on the mountain. Oh, there's a castle tower small key. Interesting. So now we can get 2 items in there. Second one is a little bit more awkward to get without a lamp or a fire rod, but definitely doable. But yeah, you have to be a little bit careful, because this low amount of hearts, taking a couple of hits in that room could definitely be a little bit scary.
Oh yeah. Well, I think with Ether, you know, you've got options for sure. All right, so we got ourselves an Ice Rod Cave check here coming from Nilsson.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kyong did this. I think he just did the minimal run cave and then headed over to Eastern.
Correct, yeah. I think this is the first time we're seeing it, so Nilsson definitely being a little more, you know, getting the kind of more out of the ways, like Agina's Cave and Ice Rod Cave done. You know, who's going to say no to Blue Mail at 4 hearts? I sure as heck am not going to.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe Kyong, because he's trying to death warp.
Nice.
It looks like, yeah,
Well, we get to
Nilsson
see,
will have to escape as well here.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, very nice tactical bombos there to get rid of the green guards.
Oh man,
You don't want to take like accidental damage from the green guards too early here, going into Tiger Tower.
Yeah, another victim of quick swapping to hookshot, I suppose. But I guess he really hated those guards. Maybe they, you know, they got in the way when he was trying to hookshot up the torch the first time through there. So this time, Kyong was like, you know what, screw these guys. They're dying in a fire, literally.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about using the medallions here in the tower, so maybe Kyong was just warming up a little bit.
Yeah, he's brushing the dust off of those golden discs. He knows what's up.
Nilsson actually went in here first, but he doesn't have the small key from the ball and chain guard yet, so he might come back after doing that. Alright, there's the second disc. The only problem with this is so many frozen enemies. The lag becomes really bad in this room, yeah.
Well, you do get the frozen enemies is probably a better choice than Bombos, just in terms of having landmarks. But yeah, you definitely get a lot of lag frames for sure.
Yeah.
Looks like that second castle tower check ends up not bearing fruit, but because of the location of the small key, NilssonAlex is going to probably be a little mildly annoyed that he could have gotten maybe another check out of it. And we're still looking for that Dark World access, Walter. No lantern, no extra glove, no hammer.
Yeah. And
I'm guessing somewhere on Death Mountain at this point, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I think except for Sora, Death Mountain is pretty much our only option. Well, I guess Desert could have it as well, but yeah, Death Mountain definitely the most likely scenario. We have I think 9 chests and logic up on Death Mountain, and then we can get 1 extra from the Old Man as well.
Yeah, and most runners are probably one of the first things they do after they flute will be to do the Old Man check.
Yeah, if they're doing Eastern Dark Rooms, would be highly surprised if they skip this one.
All right, so we got some old man dark room action going on over here. That sounded dirtier than I meant it, but you guys know what I mean. Meanwhile, Alex is about to find that small key. Will probably also be annoyed. Is setting up the damage for the death warp here.
Yeah, I think he hasn't done the Dark Source one yet.
Correct.
Probably.
Yep.
Slashing a little bit of extra times there.
I mean, the amount of times that bites you in the butt exactly like this are like kind of small, but like it's still something to consider and just bad luck in general.
I know for a fact that Nilsson was watching the race that was on this channel right before this race, and both runners went into Hyrule Castle super early with a Master Sword and didn't check Agate Tower, and there was like a glove in Agate Tower, which both of them ended up like almost last locationing. So I bet that was on his mind. This so he probably was like, I'm getting this right away, so I don't forget it.
PRNG, Walter. Well, Nilsson did take some damage from the guards on his way in, so and he also does not have ether like Kyong does because he has not done the back of escape yet either, so
Does have bombas though. It looks like he is finding his way pretty well here. So even
honestly, he did that a little quicker than Kyong did with all the leg. Meanwhile, so. Kyong picking up the hammer in Paradox Cave.
All right, so that's full Dark World, well, full normal-ish Dark World access, I guess. Very nice. We also got a shovel, which something we could potentially do early here, but maybe we're gonna skip that for a while, see if we can get a mirror first. Looks like there was a big key on the floating island. So we're gonna need a mirror and myth before we can get that one.
Spiral cave without the boots. Feels bad, man. Actually, you know what? Basically anything without the boots feels bad, man.
Yeah. Well, at least in this run, it's gonna feel earned when we get the boots.
You know, you might say that starting off with the boots cheapens them, but you know what? I would rather be cheap and fast.
I mean, obviously, they're cheaper if they're free, right?
I mean, by definition, I suppose. All right, so Kyong working his way through, doing Spiral Cave before like heading over to like Ether and Hera, just in case maybe he finds a key there. I suspect is why he is doing this routing.
Yeah, could also be potential of if he gets like a cane or something, he could maybe do Spike Cave as well.
Yep, very true.
He's gonna check the tablet here first for same reason here. Could get a key for Hera. Specifically, the big key would be what we're looking for because we need a fire source for that basement anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of things in Hera that, I mean, I suspect that we're gonna see Hera pot here, but I mean, you know, no fire source, no big key to get the chest, even if you do it. Like, this is definitely, there's gonna be some out of logic stuff going on here. Kyong says no to free $20. So if you're Kyong and you're walking down the street, you see 20 currency units on the ground, you don't pick it up, because that's what kind of a baller you are.
Yeah, it doesn't play by the finders keepers rule here. It is interesting though, because we're actually quite close to that Sora money, but probably not planning on heading to Sora quite anytime soon anyways, with that Dark World access showing up.
Alright, Kyong gets the right shadow setup there. Took a few buffers, but you know what? With the bootsless setup there, it's better to take several extra buffers than to have to wait to redo the whole setup again. So.
Yeah, especially when you don't even have the option of climbing the tower like normal, the normal way, because you don't have the big key. So this will be our second dungeon complete here. Not fully complete as Eastern. We still have 2 items left in here, but if they don't have progression, we don't have to come back for them.
Yes. All right, let's see what autologic mold. I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer. He was on the other side of the rail there, wasn't he, Walter?
Yeah, he was. That was definitely an interesting bump. Moldrum has been practicing his link bumps for sure.
Yeah, can Moldworm hover over? Can Moldworm bounce off of Link and have like a reverse Moldworm bounce? Like I don't, you know, then he can go fight Aghanim too for you.
I hope he can. I think he's gonna like start hovering the middle hole as well as he's fighting Link.
Just to show dominance. And then if you accidentally kill him over the middle hole, the item is impossible to get. You have to leave and refight him.
No, the crystal falls down 2 floors, and you just have to fall after it to grab it.
I like it. All right, so our out of logic Moldworm kill only gave us a map of Turtle Rock, in addition to a dungeon prize, I guess.
Yeah, this second crystal already. Something to keep in mind, since this is all dungeons and key sanity, there could be quite a few items and specifically keys that could be inside Aghanis Tower. So if we get those 7 crystals early, definitely increases the odds of that happening.
Yeah, there are a lot of chests in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, like at least 1 or 2.
I mean, you're not wrong, Walter. But meanwhile, the hammer we found in Death Mountain did give us our Dark World access. So Kyong elects to enter. I'm mixing up my pog champs here. Kyong elects to enter through the bottom of Link's house, hidden up Hype Cave. These sound small and flippers. That's a pretty solid Hype Cave, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I would say so, because we also have the hammer and the big key for Feast on already. So that's another dungeon we can full clear now. Meanwhile, Nilsson did have a little bit of issues with that hair pot, so he's just going to skip it for now. It's not going to miss anything important at the moment, and in fact, he could potentially come back later when he has the big key and grab that item that Kyong wasn't able to get.
Yeah, hair pot is definitely an interesting glitch in that there's definitely like some, you know, gambling involved, or rather it's a strategy, you know, because of the items that you're potentially skipping or making harder to get. So yeah, you are very correct, Walter. That could end up being a benefit for him depending on how the item placements get played out here.
Right, so we did get some extra crystal information here. Red crystals on Skullwoods and Mr. Meyer. And we did get to see a little bit earlier that the green penna was on Palace of Darkness. So gives us a little bit more information to work with here.
I wonder if getting the Thieves Town small and finalizing Thieves Town as a fully clearable area is going to make Kyong. I wonder if he was planning on potentially like poking his nose into Pod, but with the items he has, he might just do Catfish and then, you know, head over to the other left side of the Dark World and perhaps go there.
Yeah. Yeah, he only has 1 small key for Pod, so even if he went there right now, he wouldn't be able to do all that much. He's gonna head up here to Catfish, and unless we get Mirror, probably saying quit from here.
Agreed.
And we'll
That's
see
not one of those good things that runners have to think about, you know, thinking ahead of like, all right, if I don't get exactly this item, you know, I'm going to do X, and if not, then Y. You know, that kind of decision making will save you seconds of idling while you think about what you're going to do next.
Yeah, for sure. So he's just gonna save and quit here before picking up the item to save a little bit of extra time. We'll see if NilssonAlex just follows suit here. Alright, so we're actually walking to the right here, maybe checking the flipper stuff here now that we got the flippers from Hype Cave. Do have the money for Sora. Only potential issue is we would be very low on money going into the Village of Outcast area.
Yeah, you want at least, I mean, what, the chess game is 30 and the dig game is 80. So although you tend to get money back from the chess game or from the dig game, and you can always play the arrow game to get more money, but yeah, you are right. Maybe he'll just save and quit from Hobo.
Without the mirror or specifically mitts even, it's a little bit of an issue to get back up to that chess game after doing the archery game.
Meanwhile, Alex is heading into pod, so we'll see what we get here.
Pretty spicy play here. He could loop around on the bow side twice in order to be able to check the maximum amount of chest here. It would be the what's 5 that's in logic at the moment, and then he could also get additional free in the back as well.
The double pod loop, while it does save keys, man, it just feels like the slowest thing ever.
Yeah, the only problem is he only has one small key. Okay, he's actually gonna open it right away. I'm not sure if I'm like yeah, that's interesting because he's probably gonna have to do the bow side anyways for those 2 chests, so it would have been interesting to see him just start off with that to begin with.
Alright, so, well, and meanwhile, Kyong is doing that Zora check, so I wonder if he's got a, maybe he's wishing he had picked up that 20 from before Kyong. But yeah, we'll have to see if he's got a plan here.
Yeah, it's an interesting breakpoints in rupees at the moment. There is a couple of rupees that you could get guaranteed in Thieves Town, but they're kind of out of the way. But the odds of not getting a single 20 rupee while doing like all of the Village Outcast area and probably even Skullwoods area is
yeah, like you're probably gonna be just fine. That boulder really did not want him flying a duck, which is not a sentence I've had to say very often. That's right, we did get the first bottle. We didn't really talk about it, but we did get the first bottle from Hype Cave, so this could potentially be progression bottle. It's not.
Yeah, no progression from that bottle today.
I mean, I guess oh, that's right. There was a good bee.
Kyong is gonna sell the bee and get the money. Now we are the one who looks stupid.
We are chumps, Walter. We are chumps.
Speaking of bees, Nilsson finding another one in Palace of Darkness here, but he's gonna stay and quit now because he can't check anything else without more small keys. All of the chests that he did get was the ones that actually were in logic, but yeah. They're not going to help him much at this point, so he's going to have to go maybe for the same play here that Kyong is doing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I don't think that's a terrible play in a vacuum, like especially up against a player like Kyong. Like, I'm gonna do this checks that are in logic, because there very well could have been something there. So,
yeah, and with popping a pendant, I would say like that kind of makes me personally at least a little bit more likely to just dive it early, because like it's kind of likely that there could be some small keys in Gannis Tower for Palace of Darkness, so that like lessens the amount of progression that could be behind like some of those more high count required keys chests.
Yeah,
so just getting the like the early ones, probably the ones with the most value in this scenario.
Well, Kyong is just continuing to pick up money, and I think he knew, and now he's mocking us. Wow. Oh, wow, we're getting a ped check. And it's a hard container.
So, question. In this game mode, do you have to have 20 hearts to begin it? Is that how it works?
I mean, you don't not have to have 20 hearts. Wow, it's bees and bottles everywhere.
Yeah. The double bees. Small key for touch rock, that's nice. We're gonna need at least 3 of those. 4 if we want to full clear it, but we could skip one of those potentially.
Oh, Ice Pelt Big Key is so nice to have. Like, it's usually not required, but God, getting back to that chest is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you don't want to double dip dungeons, especially. Wow, that was interesting.
The camera motion there was definitely interesting.
Yeah, he kind of scrolled down as he was getting grabbed.
Wow, how many freaking keys are in Skull Woods here?
A lot of good ones.
More like Key Woods, am I right, Walther? All right, that's what we should call it.
Okay. Yeah, that.
Look, I was just trying to force it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Nilsson. The good news for Nilsson here is the Hera big key was in here, so he's not gonna have to worry about that Hera pod.
Well, and honestly, having, we talked about it a little bit before, but having that key is, that could actually be to his benefit, because he's going to prioritize that location maybe earlier than Kyong will in terms of just going back for that chest.
Yeah.
And, the runners still don't have a fire source either, much less. I don't think we've seen the small key to Hera either, so Hera basement is still a thing as well, so. All right, well, there's another Turtle Rock small, like you were mentioning.
Wow, so that's triple small keys for Touch Rock already. We don't have the items for Touch Rock, but we're certainly getting the keys. So as soon as we get those items, it's gonna be interesting to see how fast the runners decide to run over there.
Yeah, we're definitely missing like gloves and canes and rods and lions and tigers and bears.
That's the small details.
Well, we already have the small details figured out, Walter, because we have the small keys. So I'm not really sure where you're going with this.
Well, I can tell you where Kyong is going with this. He's gonna head all the way to the back of Thieves Town, grab that maiden, and then stab her in the back.
I mean, I guess with Blind's head spinning all around, like, who's to say, like, what direction that they're actually looking? So maybe it's stabbing him, in the front or perhaps the side.
All right, that's fair.
But yeah, we did talk about this Thieves Town play before. Hammer, big key, small key. This place is fully clearable, so not a particularly hard decision point for the runners here. I suspect both of them are going to, full clear this while they're here and move on. This is all dungeon keys, as we keep mentioning, so thoroughness and efficiency in routing is definitely something to be prized. So. Man, this dungeon's annoying without boots. Wait, that's every dungeon.
Well, this is definitely one of the more annoying ones, because there's so many like long hallways where you just want to dash.
Yeah, well, I'm just like the hallway they were just in. I'm like, you can't line up with the torch, can't set up the door dash, gotta wait through the whole thing.
Fun fact: in this room, you can normally do what's called the God Pixel, where if you stand on a specific pixel, you can dash through the room. You can actually do it without boots too, but you need extreme luck with the enemy RNG.
Yes, I like this, Walter. We can just we'll spend the entire seed where they don't have boots talking about all the potential boot strats that they could be doing in every room, and then once they do get the boots, we'll talk about pumping and efficient diagonal walk lines.
That sounds good to me.
That's what I'm all about. The grass is always greener. You always want what you don't have. Although I guess
Yeah.
you could still walk when you have boots, so never mind. Boots are superior.
I think like when you get boots, you should be able to do spike cave without taking damage.
You're thinking of the iron boots from Ocarina of Time?
That doesn't sound very practical.
You don't take any damage walking over spikes, but you move at like 1/4 the speed. So why even bother? All right, horseheads did cooperate a little bit, so we could use some hook shot strats to hook against the locks there. So it's not quite as good as having boots, Walther, but I feel like we're getting close.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. Oh, was that a key dash? No, wait, we don't have boots. Oh, there is a mirror though. That's a really nice pickup, and that might actually be what Nilsson needs to put him back to Hera a little bit earlier, because he's probably not going up there until he gets the mirror, but he's gonna get it in here, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Then we don't really know there is anything good in Hera. That's just speculation at the moment.
Well, I mean, we're still small key and fire sourceless for the bottom of Hera too, so like there's still a lot going on at the top of Death Mountain right now.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Kyong is stabbing blind from the front / behind / question mark.
Mm-hmm. This is what I imagine blind would be like on a nightclub, just spinning around everywhere. Ooh, nice fire there.
You can't tell which way the blind is facing while she's busting out the moves.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that blind's moves are literal fire, Rod?
Yes, I definitely would.
See, it's funny because blind had the fire rod. You guys, come on.
It's also funny because they went to Skullwoods first.
That's true. And I'm curious, without, Nilsson spent time walking up to the pedestal, which is reasonable. But like if Kyong does Skullwoods, we'll be able to do pedestal check at the same time if he so chooses. So, once you have the mirror and access to the Dark World, your routing efficiency becomes more and more of an issue because time spent walking can't be negated by the flute in the Dark World, for example. So.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so we're doing dig game here. So a couple of digs going on here. We also have a shovel for the actual dig spot. We'll see if Kyong managed to do that a little bit faster than this. Maybe he gets less digs. No, only one way to find out. But we do have that mirror, so we can kind of route these together with K45, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's always nice. The only way this gets nicer is if you also have mitts, so you could like do it all at once, but we'll have to let our dreams be dreams, Walter. Alright, we got ourselves a cane, but it is the incorrect color.
You never know, that cane could be in... Actually, no, it can't be required by logic, because we already have cape and bottles, but it can still be nice.
Alright, Kyong, almost forgot about K45, but remember to come back. Good work. Well, it turns out that skipping K45 would have been the ultimate big brain play there.
Yeah, he's not really getting any valuable items down here. He's gonna head down to the Bombos tablet. Maybe he even goes for a spicy first check of swamp play here.
That's always a fun consideration in any key sanity mode.
Yeah, I think
Meanwhile,
more likely
Alex...
he's probably just heading into Desert after this.
Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Meanwhile, Alex heading into Skullwoods with that fire rod. So we are going to see... This is kind of a real indicative of Alex's playstyle so far. I think NilssonAlex has been really kind of favoring the go back or the checking of these other locations. So we'll see if this bears any fruit for him.
There's nothing good on the south side of Outcast there, so if he decides to use the mirror and float away from here after this, he won't really get punished. Oh,
meanwhile, the Mothula fight here is not going to be too bad. That's quite a bit of hearts. We've got Hammer, like, we'll be all right.
Yeah, he is going to the boss first, though. Normally, I would kind of agree with that. But since we have quick swap, I don't think there's really any reason not to check the other chest first, because you don't have to do like the extra menus and all that. So in case you get like boots or a sword.
Boots or a sword upgrade, yeah, I would tend to agree with you there, Walter.
Alright, so Kyong is going to head into pod here as well. We'll see if he decides to be a little bit more careful in how he uses like one key.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Kyong still at just one key? I do not remember seeing any other ones.
Yeah, I think we're still on one in total.
Meanwhile, Nilsson busting out the hammer for hammer moth strats. I like it.
Yeah, everyone knows if you have trouble with insects in your backyard or in your house, the best way to deal with them is just take a hammer and swing away.
Or more insects.
Yeah, that works too.
I mean, it's bug wars all up in here, Walter. What's going on?
Yeah, I told Nilsson before this race started, like, just trying to enjoy yourself. It looks like he might be enjoying himself just a little bit too much here. That's fine.
Wow, there's one thing bees love. It's crystals, right? I mean, I've always said that.
That's factually correct.
But yeah, we'll have to see. I suspect Kyong is going to do what you suggested here, Walter. Do you think he'll do something like go to the back, or think he'll stick with the chests that are in logic?
I think he's probably gonna try and go to the back. He might check the front here first, and then do one more trip around. That would be my guess for Kyong's routing and playstyle here.
All right, well, Nilsson is doing kind of what you suggested. Is he going to flutes? No, I think he's just doing the shortcut to... So for those of you watching at home, it is faster if you want to get back in the Dark World from the back of Skullwoods. It is faster to mirror and walk back. It's just less transitions. All right, so yeah, I am curious to see what Kyong is going to come up with here.
Yeah, so he's going for the two chests here, and I think he'll just loop one more time. He could potentially leave as well, but
yeah, I think leaving this chest here, you know, because you could have left this chest and not opted to do the other loop, but like it would be pretty punishing.
Yeah, he jumped down here right away without checking the other chest, which is kind of telling that he's planning to just walk around one more time.
Yep. Man, you have to do the walk around twice and you don't have boots.
Where are you hoping the boots are going to be today?
I don't know, somewhere toward the end because I'm a jerk.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Turtle Rock, a vanilla big key chest maybe. The one that everyone likes to skip.
Like lava chest. Because we're at 3 small keys for Turtle Rock, right?
Yeah, so there's no way you're shaking that.
Yeah, glorious.
Oh, this is
is Kyong doing the bomb jump?
Yeah. But,
man.
I think he was trying to go for the beetle bounce here. It's the same as the Molder bounce, right?
Either way, definitely a cool tech to see. Meanwhile, Alex is doing the kind of the South Dark World loop here. As you mentioned, not a whole lot down here, so, but, you know, and again, in all dungeons, key sanity seed, like, you gotta pretty much check everything, so.
Yeah, he could maybe go for that swamp play. He knows
Yeah,
that. I know that Nilsson consider himself unfavorable or like the underdog in this race for sure.
you think that
told me
would
as
make him
much,
feel
so
more or less likely to do that kind of a check?
maybe like sometimes if you feel like you're the underdog in a race, then like sometimes going for some of those a little bit more out of their checks could definitely give you the edge that you feel like you need.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kyong setting up a hammer jump here. We don't have the big key for this dungeon, but that's still 2 more chests that we'll be able to get back here, so. Oh, Kyong, I think he had it and then he moved at the last minute there.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I think he pressed up a little bit too early there. But I also think he was actually not on the right pixel, and maybe he realized right before the bomb exploded.
It's a little
kind
hard to
of
tell on the restream sometimes, but yeah, you could be right.
yeah, it's a little bit awkward when you come from the top. Sometimes you walk a little bit too low. I think he is on the right one this time around.
I know he's got the bomb shadow lineup right, so yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, so Alex is heading back east through the portal. Are we gonna have a? Is he getting? Ah, he's got the mirror out. Hell yeah, we've got
not
first
much
check.
else he can do here.
First check, Swamp Palace.
Here.
Well, I mean, he could be setting up.
Right.
I don't know if he checked Lake Hylia Islands checks. I do not remember, but it doesn't matter, kids. We are getting a first check, Swamp Palace check. I like it.
Yeah, it's gonna be the vanilla small key, just like the good old days, like you said, anything.
That would be glorious. That would be a pretty big differential for sure. Because I mean, Kyong will get there eventually, but
yeah, Kyong will get there later when he already has the swamp big key, and then he'll get the boots from the big chest.
I don't know, man. I still think Turtle Rock Lava Chest when there's only 3 smalls. All right, let's see what we got here. We got 3 enemies to kill and a chest to open.
Oh, baby!
Oh, the plays.
All right, that's pretty spicy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's not small key swamp, but that's still pretty impressive.
The funny thing was like, oh wait, Kyong is going for the small key here on the island. What if this is the swamp small key? That would be a little bit funny.
Come on. Come on. Ah. That's funny. So, all right, so Alex is taking those fancy golden gloves, and instead of joining a boxing tournament, he is opting to go to Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, he definitely has a big of an edge here all of a sudden, because he, like, I imagine if this is required to go into Swamp to get those myths before getting that small key, then like Kyong might do almost everything else before going there.
Oh yeah. Well, and keep in mind too, those of you watching at home, that Nilsson did not do Hera-Pot like Kyong did, so you know, he'll be able to mirror and finish that up too. So that, you know, we've got another Hera big key chest check that Alex will have over Kyong as well. So yeah, this race definitely got a little spicy.
I would say so. Now the myths is
double compass.
it's kind of interesting having the myths there, because if that's required, it will kind of force Kyong to go there sooner rather than later, because the myths kind of block so many locations. If it would have been like something else, like an ice rod or I don't know, something like that, it would have been a little bit less likely that Kyong would get there faster. But still, like Nilsson has a pretty big advantage at the moment.
Yeah, now every small key that I find that's myths locked, I'm just wondering if it's going to be the Swamp Small.
Yeah.
All right, Hookshot Cave, not particularly interesting. We did have, what was it, a big key in the floating island up here, so yeah.
Yep.
Nilsson will be picking that up. Meanwhile, we've got the expected Mothula play from Kyong here.
So yeah, Nilsson has, even if there's nothing up here, he still has a lot of other stuff he can do with the mitts now. Can full clear Ice Palace. That's a desert big key as well, so now we can clear Lamolas. We can check
Yep.
quite a bit of stuff in the Maya area as well, because we can very likely actually enter Maya.
I think the only thing holding off because Ice Palace seems like a logical choice, but really it's the lack of Samaria for Icebreaker that kind of slows that dungeon down. Is probably the only reason the runners are perhaps favoring other locations, would be my guess.
Yeah, well, in Kyong's situation, he kind of needs the mitts first, anyways.
Well, yes, but in terms of Alex, I guess is what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering if having Harapot issues earlier made him kind of want to get back here earlier, because it's probably something he figured that Kyong was going to be getting done, so he didn't want that to be a decision point that kind of ended up biting him in the butt.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. That's probably his mindset here, and he also knows that if Kyong did this early, then he didn't get the big chest.
Yeah. I mean, we're about to see. I mean, this big chest here in Hera could definitely be a turning point. I mean, probably not, but it could be. I'm just saying. I'm here to artificially inflate the levels of hype, Walther. That's what I bring to the table. All right, we do get. This is a pedestal check from Kyong. Of course, we already know that it's just a heart container.
Oh, Ice Palace. I would have been kind of laughing if that was the Swamp Small Key.
Oh man. Well, like I said, it's every small key now is just big question mark. All right, so
Yeah,
this looks like a desert play from Kyong. Makes sense.
Yep. It's gonna get actually only one item.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, yeah, there's no big key.
So that's the situation Kyong is in now. Go for
one item desert.
Fairly bad one item locations. Like might be Hera after this.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what this item in desert is. Kyong has already accepted defeat and has got that mirror ready.
Yeah. He is gonna check what the torch has as well.
Yep, no reason not to just take a peek at it.
So we didn't see actually any of our runners head to the waterfall and Sora yet, though, I don't think. So that is something that Kyong might do now.
Well, didn't Kyong do... one of the runners did Zora.
Oh.
I don't remember who.
Alright. Well, then it's probably Kyong, because I don't think he would have done Desert and this before heading up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, another small. Oh, there's the Desert Palace small.
Ooh, so we get the small and the big key. All the stuff that Kyong wished he had a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is, the spice levels are definitely rising, because, the longer Kyong is not in First Palace of Swamp, or the first check in Swamp Palace, the more behind he's going to get here. So meanwhile, Nilsson is going to do, not only is he going to be able to get into Desert faster with the mitts access and a mirror, but he's also going to be able to finish Desert and get Mire Shed checks done. And
We got some more information there. Double map check.
Yeah, Swamp was a crystal I saw.
Yeah, and Turtrock as well. That would leave either Desert or Ice Palace as our last... Or, as the last pendant and last crystal. So we'll probably find out which is which when Nilsson takes care of Lamo.
Okay, so confirmation that was Ether there. I guess if the small key for Swamp did end up being there, that would have guided Kyong in the direction. So maybe it's good that it wasn't in terms of keeping the seed interesting.
Yeah, I think after the spiral spike cape here, he might not actually have anything else left.
Yeah, you could be right. I'm trying to think. We're definitely getting down there. Like,
Well, I guess
if
he did get the desert small key here, so he might head back to desert again first.
is he getting the flute out? Ah, this could mean anything. Oh man.
Let's triple dip desert. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Jesus. Oh god. Poor Kyong. Meanwhile, Nilsson is just rocking it over here with the one trip desert. Ugh, and you have to wait for the entire Book of Medora cutscene.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we got ourselves a tempered sword. That's always nice to see.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Ooh.
Ice rod. So definitely progression, but not really useful at the moment.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you're always happy to check the ice rod off your list of things, but if you find it very early, you're kind of like, meh, whatever, I'll take it, I guess. Kyong's like, I guess I'll take it. I hate this game.
Yeah, he should know it has to be swamp right now. So that might scare him a little bit because it's not super unreasonable.
No, I mean,
swamp.
Kyong himself was down here when he was doing that Dark World loop not 20 minutes ago. So when he gets in here and gets those mitts, yeah, you are right. He's gonna be like, oh crap.
Yeah, so it's yeah, it should be 100% confirmed that it's hard required to get those mitts before you get the small key at this point.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
that's why we love all dungeons key sanity, right?
I like this mode. It was a fun season when it was on the ladder for sure. But yes, I think you were right. We basically got a confirmation here that this is hard required. So, meanwhile, Nilsson is going to be heading in the back of desert here. We'll be picking up dungeon prize number 5.
Yeah, he's making very good progress at the moment. He has more dungeons he can do after this as well. Nice boomerang on the chest there before grabbing the mitts. See where Kyong decides to take these mitts.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, I guess the one thing you can know from having damn near full cleared everything else is that you know, your list of locations to check is slightly smaller than it was for Nilsson's, I guess, when he got when he got.
Oh, there we go. There's Swamp Palace small key.
Wow.
Lamolas. So you had to go into swamp, get the mitts, go up the mountain to grab that big key, and then head into desert.
Good stuff.
So yeah, that's another dungeon that Nilsson can complete, and it was a crystal on desert, so that means Ice Palace is our last pendant, and also means we're only a big key and a King of Samaria away from being able to actually enter Gannis Tower.
Yep, very correct. And the 3 key lava chest turtle rock scenario is still alive.
Oh yeah, that has to be.
All right, is Alex going into ice? It looks like, or is he doing the flipper checks?
I think he's going into ice. Yeah, he might do the flipper stuff after this though.
Honestly, this is not a terrible play either. I mean, you're gonna have to do it anyway. It's full clearable. You know, he might be thinking that, you know, other runners might put this off more because they don't have Cane of Samaria for Icebreaker to make it go faster. But I mean, for all we know, Cane of Samaria could be in here or could be locked by something that is in here. So yeah,
I like this from Nilsson because you're not gonna leave any chest behind in here. So doing
Oh, no.
this like over swamp, for example.
And we've also got, we've got the Ice Palace big. We've got one Ice Palace small to make the icebreaker routing not quite as crappy. So I mean, it's the best of the bad situation in terms of, icebreakerless Ice Palace.
Yeah, and we actually have both small keys for Ice Palace and Logic. Nilsson just haven't grabbed one of those, so that means that Coaster could even have the King of Samaria at this point.
Yeah, very true. Meanwhile, Kyong is making his way through a whole bunch of mitts checks here. So look at all these fun screens that you don't see as often anymore, Walther. You got conveyor belt Ice Palace room. You got the double Stalfos.
Yeah, too bad.
One bomb room.
Too bad we don't have the boots. We could have dashed into some of those spikes there.
Yes, that sounds about right. All right, NilssonAlex gets the much lauded Ice Palace bomb jump. Took him a tiny bit to find the right setup pixel, but immediately snapped into the right post bomb drop pixel. So good work.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of Icebreaker is that you don't get to do that bomb jump very often, so it can be kind of a little bit rusty sometimes going for that.
Yeah, for sure. Still one of the most important tricks, I think, if you're new to the randomizer to learn.
Yeah, because if you don't have the King of Samaria, you very much want to do that bomb jump in order to not
save
do the vanilla
minutes.
routing.
All right, so Kyong not getting a whole lot. Okay, I think Kyong is opting to do Ice Palace as well. Just wants to get it done. Probably for similar reasons. Maybe he's feeling behind for his late mitts and is like, you know what, we're gonna do a reasonable play that is full clear Ice Palace, even though I don't have Samaria.
Yeah, I think that like Kyong's mindset is kind of often like go for the full clears first, just to like maximize your chances of like gaining some gear that would help you in the other dungeons.
Yeah, for sure. I mean that's just solid all dungeons routing philosophy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Kyong plays a lot of cross keys and door rando, and in like those modes you really learn the value of being very tedious in your full clearing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got the Ice Tea check here. Just 3 bombs, not particularly exciting. So Nilsson will be doing a bomb jump here. This bomb jump pretty free. Just get up in the corner and drop a bomb.
Yeah, might be the easiest bomb jump in the game, honestly.
There are just a ton of bomb jumps in Ice Palace, like depending on what items you have and where you're going and what you're trying to do.
Right, Nilsson hook clipping, not going back and getting himself trapped there as well. That's really good. Well played.
And because we have Bombos, we don't have to be quite so mindful of our magic meter in here either.
Yeah, I think he might start with a Bombos here because of the magic situation. He could switch to Fire Rod at that point to get a couple of like bonus hits in with that first before using the sword.
Yeah, with Tempered Sword here, it definitely makes this fight a little bit more straightforward. No boots though, so you can't do any poke starts. Had a really good start to his Cold Stare fight there. The Puffs got just a little bit away from him, but still pretty solid.
Ooh, we got a powder to go grab our King of Samaria.
Oh man. I'm still waiting for boots and lava chest, Walter. Like, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, they're not gonna check it though. That's the fun part. They're
And
gonna
then,
have to
like,
wait a long time.
there's gonna be some kind of required, like, pod big key will be on like GT Torch or something.
Yeah, that would definitely be some extra spice into this race. It's kind of the sad part of doing key sanity. Just makes it way less likely that you're gonna need boots because they're not very often required for the desert torch anymore.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, outside of the 2 torches and the flanktuary chests, there's not a ton for boots to do, other than make your gameplay experience smoother. All right, so we got Alex is definitely finishing up on some of the checks that Kyong has already finished up. Kyong is just hoping that that there would be something worthwhile in this ice palace, but only a bug net. I guess you know, we like you mentioned, the powder is still a question mark.
Yeah. So you know what's also a question mark?
A literal question mark.
Yeah, and the cane. Cane almost looks like a question mark.
I did not see that one coming. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You could actually ask, if you have the full inventory of A Link to the Past, you can actually ask 2 questions.
Question number 1 for Kyong right now is, where is that Swamp Palace Monkey?
Yeah, very true.
So we still only have 1 small key for pod. Definitely starts to give some more weight to my potential theory of multiple small keys in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I mean, the longer this game goes, the more you know, the more likely you are to be right, because we'll be checking other locations that isn't that. So, all right, I'm kind of curious as to where Nilsson is going to go here. Swamp Palace is definitely looking juicy with that small key he picked up.
Yep, looks like he's going for that. I think Kyong might be going for the Smith chain here, which is something that is also locked behind the Mets. And he could do the powder at the same time here as well.
Yep, I suspect you're right. I think he wants to get value in off of the Ice Palace check he did first, if possible, while also getting other things done. So this, both plays by the runners here, pretty reasonable given where they are in the state of the game.
Yeah,
it's just so funny how small little differences can really kind of reflect across the seed as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why the game's interesting, I guess.
Would have done back of desert first. He could have like done the purple chest into Swamp Palace.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Then again, if he did have that small palace, small key, probably would have just gone there instead of doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably a moot point. Yeah, you're right. Oh no!
Oh, nice.
Okay, so things
Nice
Kyong hates. He hates undead chickens and he hates green guards inside of Hyrule Castle. This much we know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure why you're hating on the dead chickens so much. They're already dead.
Maybe he's hungry for delicious chicken, and the lack of any actual meat on those bones is just brings up the rage in Kyong.
That is fair.
I was expecting hammerless check in Swamp to also have something, just because why not?
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't really matter because we've had the hammer for a long time, but all right, let's see what this powder is. Even though Kyong was later into Mit's access, he will be first to do this powder check, so.
Come on, Kane, big money. Ah,
Garbage.
almost. That's almost Kane is Mario.
How is 3 bombs from a bat that doesn't understand threats almost Canis Mario?
2 things you can use to dive it down in Swamp Palace.
Well, actually, wouldn't it be 3 things because there's 3 bombs there?
But you only need 2 bombs.
Yeah, you win. You win this round, Walter. All right, so we've got purple chest. Did we?
Don't think we did see Graveyard Ledge yet. I think that was like the only thing that Kyong had open when he went to Swamp Palace.
I think you are correct.
In the meanwhile, we did see a big key for Palace Darkness in Swamp Palace, so that's a nice pickup. Won't really do much until we get more small keys, though.
Well, and as per your theory, they're most likely in Ganon's Tower at this point. I mean, statistically, you're not wrong, but
maybe not all of them, but like at least like 2, maybe 3 of them. Unless they're just like all of them in Turtle Rock.
Lava chest, Turtle Rock, I'm telling you. Alright, so Kyong, turn in this purple chest. This is another check we have not seen yet. GT small.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of Ganon's Tower small keys. Put every location in Ganon's Tower in Logic. So
in Logic, yeah.
All of those pot keys.
Because all those pot keys are needed for Logic. Alright, left side swamp. Here we go. A little less exciting in an all dungeons key sanity seed because way more likely to do it, but
Alright, there's one of those pot keys that that would be enough to beat the boss there. And we did get a big key for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah.
May or may not be quite very important.
I mean, if by may or may not you mean absolutely 100% important.
Yeah, it's maybe. It's a 50-50 at this point. We don't really know. I've been told this game is all about those 50-50s.
There's I won't go there. Yes, you are correct.
Oh, see, we didn't have the big key for Swamp Palace. So 50-50 chance that we had it.
Yeah, I mean either you have it or you don't. There's only 2 outcomes.
Yeah, so it's a binary world.
Exactly.
All right, so
we're gonna be seeing Landmo from.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, you are correct. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, well, we saw Nilsson do this fight with silver arrows very handily. Hit the first 2, had a little trouble the 3rd one. So we'll see if Kyong does any better here.
Yeah, it's slightly more awkward when you don't have the boots to get the setup that you normally would do, but does it very well here. We get the Canis Maria. We get a big key for Mr. Meyer.
Wow.
You know, that kind of tells me that maybe or maybe not we should go to Meyer after this.
I mean, if that wasn't the game telling you to go to Meyer, I don't know what is. And meanwhile, Kyong picking up that Swamp Palace small is probably just annoyed, but you know it's going to lead him toward this Canis Maria and the Misery Meyer big. So,
yep. So he's going to be on NilssonAlex heels at the moment. It's going to be like pretty much a full clear of Swamp Palace behind at the moment. If this ends up being linear the rest of the way. However, according to the tracker, Nilsson actually only has 2 small keys to Turtle Rock, which could be quite an issue. Not sure where all of them were. Maybe Kyong got one in pod that Nilsson didn't get?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where Kyong has been that Nilsson hasn't, and I believe you are correct.
That could definitely pose a bit of an issue for Nilsson, but that's quite likely he might pick up the other one in Meyer.
Well, I mean, it could also, you know,
Oh,
I guess
okay,
we've seen a lot of the chests.
So the one that he's missing apparently is the one in the big chest of Skullwoods, because Nilsson didn't do that hobo check very early, as Kyong did.
Oh yes, yeah, you're right. Thanks for bailing us out, Twitch chat. All right, so yeah, here is that full swamp palace behind clear that you were discussing.
Oh, Nilsson is he's walking out of here. Not sure exactly where he's planning on going.
Did he do the Lake Hylia Island check? Maybe, I don't remember.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, good call. He's gonna get that. It's a Meyer small key, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, right. I'm supposed to go to Meyer."
I'm supposed to go to Meyer, yeah. I mean, I guess having an extra Meyer small could be useful, but I mean, you know, what else are you gonna go get this small key that could be something more important, like a castle tower small key?
Doing a little bit of wasting some magic and then drinking a potion so he can go buy another potion. It's the classic, I drink my potions and buy a new one because I want to waste my money.
Well, no, maybe he just really hates the color green. Or maybe he's red, or maybe he's like blue-green colorblind, Walther. Huh? Why you gotta be like that?
Yeah, that might be it.
So Kyong setting up the crystal switch with the diver down here. Very nice tech. Oop, a little bit off on his there we go. So yeah, the delayed bomb going off flicks the switch when you go back into the room. So it's definitely a faster way to do this room. So very nice to see.
Yeah,
and honestly, for Kyong, you know, being behind essentially an entire swamp palace clear, you know, little stuff like this is going to add up for him over the course of the rest of the seed. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the big thing right now is Nilsson does need one more key for Tatrock. And
yeah, I'm really curious where that fourth small is.
Yeah, if it's in here, then like that's good news for Nilsson because he could complete Tatrock. But also, if it's in here, it's kind of bad news because that means only Kyong will get the boots from the lava chest.
To be clear, we don't actually know if the boots are in lava chest, but you know, that's what we're hoping for. Honestly, if it's not in here, I could see Nilsson considering the Turtle Rock dive with only 2 small keys, and if the 4th key is not also in Turtle Rock, that could be a pretty big time loss and something that could get Kyong back a lot of time too.
Yeah, for sure. Because as soon as Kyong goes to the back here, he will know that he has access to Ganon's Tower. So he's probably just going to go for those dungeons and then head up Ganon's Tower as soon as he can. And it's looking fairly likely that that's what we need to do at the moment. I think we only really need 1 small key for Castle Tower.
Yeah, as I say, I think our go mode is Castle Tower right now.
So that's the first in all dungeons.
Yeah, that never happens. Well, I mean, I guess technically Lantern, technically, but who cares about that? But yeah, an all dungeon seed in League, waiting on a Castle Tower, 2nd small key. If all dungeons key sanity were a bingo card, that would be the free middle space. All right, so Kyong getting done with Diver Down twice picks up the item that makes it slightly easier. And I believe Kyong had already picked up that small key from Lake Hylia Island, so that will be one less distraction to keep him from Misery Mire. So
yeah, I wouldn't
the
be
gap
surprised.
is closing a little bit here.
Would not be surprised to see him just go for Meyer straight away. He probably still will full clear Meyer. But it's, I guess it wouldn't be too unreasonable to maybe go for the boss first.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, there's so many items. You know, the way to Ganon's Tower is basically clear right now, and there's like so many items there. But you know, you don't want to skip past, you know, that last key that you need. So
yeah, that small key could literally be anywhere except for like Lumberjack at this point.
well, and we already scoped out Lumberjack too. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a boomerang or some crap that no one cares about.
Boomerang? Alright, we need to go get that one.
It is red.
So I think, did Nilsson go towards the back of Meyer and then realized he didn't do these ones yet, so he hook shot back to that chest and then went back here?
Yeah, he went off to the right, got the item before he flipped the switch, and then went left. So yeah, he did a kind of an unusual Meyer. So yeah, speaking of Meyer, I mean, this will be another opportunity for Kyong to close the gap a little bit. You know, we'll see. You know, Meyer 2 isn't not nearly as exciting without boots, so we'll have to see what options there are here.
Yeah, so Nilsson, it looks like he's ahead, but like honestly, it all depends on where the last Tutrock small key is. Because if there's not a Tutrock small key in Tutrock, then I do believe it's pretty fair to say that Kyong is the one who has the edge at the moment. But we've seen a lot of locations, and we know that all 4 small keys of Tutrock has to be available before Ganon's Tower. So
yeah, they are required for logic. So
it looks like it's fairly likely there might be a small key in Tutrock.
Which could be good news for Nilsson, unless I guess it's in the lava chest.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that too. That would be the absolute worst place to have that at the moment.
I mean, Skullwood's big chest is kind of one of those locations in Key Sandy. It's kind of like, you know, Ice Palace big chest, where it's hard to find time to go back there, unless you're really.
So the race before this one actually had a vanilla small key in lava chest, and I think it's like theoretically impossible for an item to be in the same place 2 seasons in a row. That's how it works, right?
Well, I mean, obviously. I mean, there are 4 copies of it, though. So it's 4 times theoretically impossible. Note to people that we're joking, it is not very possible. Alright, so Vidi did not have Castle Tower small key. So.
Alright.
So do you go into Pod with only 1 extra small key, or do you go into Turtle Rock with only 2 small keys and not enough to full clear it?
Like, I wouldn't be opposed to go to Pod first, but like, you're not gonna get that Turtle Rock small key from Helma if you're realistic about it, because you're missing 4 small keys. That's a very good chance that at least one of those are in Ganon's Tower, which means that it's impossible for a small key for real this time to actually be on Helma because of how the key logic works. So he can still like do this before, but it's not gonna give him his Turtle Rock small unless like all of the pod keys are in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess is not theoretically impossible, but yes. I mean, the problem with this is that the walk to, you know, to up here is just so brutal that, you know, I mean, this is already his 2nd time up here, and if he has to come back digging for more, I mean, it could be a 3rd. So it's just a lot of time spent walking around the overworld, not doing other things.
I think it's just 100% betting that he's not gonna have to come back here again. He already even opened the middle door here, so he can just take the fast way to Helma.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, I guess I had forgotten about that extra middle door being open. So I guess this is in theory a little less punishing for him than it could be for somebody else's pod routing. And
he's
you know,
just gonna do the boss here.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to do this anyway, like to beat the seed. So it's not like this is a waste of time or anything.
Yeah, and this is the green pendant. You could turn that in before heading up the mountain too. But like the same, the big deal here would not be getting another Turtle key. The big deal here would be getting like the Castle Tower small key here, because then he could like go mode Ganon Tower, while Kyong might like full clear.
Get a little cutscene wall and pod. I keep forgetting that we have not seen the lamp at all. So all of this stuff technically not in logic.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of likely that lamp is sitting in Tatrak at the moment. So if that's the case, we'll see all dark rooms except for the Tatrak one, I guess.
Yeah, lamp can't be, in the laser bridge.
Unless lamp is also in lava chest. Maybe we have a small key, lamp, and boots in lava chest. It's like the most compact chest ever.
It just really those boots are like super tightly folded.
Yeah, you put like the lamp in one of the boots, and you put the key in the other one.
The boots are I guess made out of asbestos, so they don't burn at this point.
You don't put an active lamp in it. Just don't turn it on.
All right, so I'm super curious as to what is on Helmasaur and also what we're gonna get from the green pendant here. This is kind of I don't want to say Hail Mary, but like this is definitely a like Nilsson really needs for this to pay off, I think, for him right now.
Interesting, Kyong is going for the same play here.
Huh, yeah, you're right.
Like, I don't think this is a bad play, but...
Well, it's going to take Kyong a little longer. It's going to take him longer to get to the back of Helma, too, because he has to go through the right side of pod, because he didn't open up that middle door and then instead opted to do a bunch of checks inside of pod. Which makes sense, to get more checks done, but it just means that going to kill Helmasaur is just going to take him longer. But again, with only one small key.
Oh, small key. To Castle Tower! Oh my god, come on.
Wow. All right,
That's
so
game.
Kyong is going to be in go mode once he gets done with this, actually.
Yeah, he will. So Nilsson will have to hope for an early... Oh, yeah, he's going to do some more stuff before heading up the tower here. He's probably going to do the Pyramid Fairy here. So yeah, that's,
if Fat Fairy has a Turtle Rock small, this race just got Omega interesting.
Yeah, we're like almost tight at that point. I think Nilsson is still slightly ahead at that point.
Yeah, people asking in chat, yes, so one of the Turtle Rock smalls is in the Skullwoods big chest, which Kyong did check and Nilsson and Alex did not. But there is a fourth wild one out there, and since they have the Castle Tower small, they would know that they wouldn't have to go back to Lava Chest.
Yep. I think if it's not in here, in the Pyramid Fairy, it has to be in Tartrog one way or another. But the way it could be in Tartrog would be like finding a mushroom or boost or something like that in Tartrog, and that leads to that small key. So
or it could be in Lava Chest.
Yeah, so it's not guaranteed that you're gonna get it there and then, but it looks pretty likely, at least.
I mean, if I were Nilsson, I would heavily consider just going up there anyway at this point.
Well, yeah, he hasn't done Pyramid at all or Catfish, so he might actually head all the way up to Catfish here.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, I think Kyong would definitely be ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot of overworld walking.
Yeah, Kyong won't have to check anything in Turtle Rock either, which Nilsson probably will
And
have
what
to.
do we got?
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Oh, the boots. So that'll be something that Kyong will never see. All right. Well, that also makes the play up to Catfish cost him less time too, because he'll just be faster going up there to do it.
Yep.
What a ridiculous seed this is.
That's yeah, I didn't know there was any lava inside of that pyramid fairy, but
Well, it's I mean, there was lava, but it cooled and then turned into water somehow. That's what the pool was for. That's why the boots are red, Walters. You know, they're red like lava.
smoking hot.
Exactly. Just like blind. Callbacks.
Oh, that's why you're running so fast as well. It's like you're on fire.
Yeah,
Right,
you're
so he's
desperately trying to put them out.
Yeah, he's gonna float away from here, and the question is if he's gonna head up the mountain or not.
I mean, a
Very
save and quit to do like the flank shoe checks would not be insane.
Yeah, he's actually gonna dash to them from here, so he can get graveyard ledge as well. But at this point, Kyong will be up the mountain before Nilsson. Nilsson is gonna have to use those boots to gain some time back here, by going up to the mountain a little bit later than Kyong. So if he doesn't get it in the boots locations here, he could maybe head over to Skullwood's big chest as well, and that would guarantee that he gets that small key.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong. The problem for Nilsson though is you know, unless he finds it like in the next minute, he's going to be real hard pressed to catch up to Kyong.
Yeah, so like boots definitely make some of these dungeons and all that faster, but it doesn't save you like enough time that you can like it's not minutes that he's gonna save. So yeah, he definitely needs to head up the mountain pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I forgot he hadn't done. I mean, Kyong has done so much more overworld than Nilsson. Yeah, I forgot he hadn't done that either.
Yeah, he got kind of forced into doing a lot of the overworld before going to Swamp.
Yeah, maybe those late mitts, you know, ended up helping him out in the long run.
So Nilsson not heading back into the portal, so he might be skipping Skullwoods. Actually, I think even if he goes for Skullwoods, he probably would have skipped that portal anyways, because he does have the mitts.
Yeah, agreed.
Right, so
God, where is that last Turtle Rock small? Like, it's got to be in Turtle Rock at this point.
It is looking.
Oh wait,
like
it could be the small key that's in the library, right? Don't we have a small key on the library?
You're right. We do have a small key in library, and I think.
Ooh, and that's Nilsson
thinking about that too.
Nilsson didn't forget that like we almost did. Actually, in terms of like places to check, coming here earlier would have been solid. Although I mean, there's lots of keys this could be that aren't that, but.
Mm-hmm. And there's the Mr. Meyer small key.
Gross.
Unfortunate. So he is not heading up yet. He's gonna go to Skullwoods, I think, or he's gonna. Oh no, is he gonna do all the Smith Chain stuff here?
I mean, I don't blame him, but well, he's got that powder, you know, from Ice Palace that was like 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. Like in his mind, it doesn't have to be in Tartarus, but we know it's very likely.
Oh yeah, well I mean, like we said, there's a whole bunch of checks that Nilsson just has not done yet. So he did a whole bunch of reasonable stuff right away, but just that one, you know, Skullwood's big chest, like, ugh.
All right, he did a same quit there. I think enough is enough. He's gonna head up the mountain now.
He's not getting up the flute. Is this Turtle Rock?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, so he is definitely a bit behind, but he could turn this around.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen the Turtle Rock key yet from Kyong, but Kyong is going to be doing a lot less like chest opening than Nilsson is going to have to be doing. So,
yeah. In fact, which one did Kyong get? Was that
He
the
opened the chain chomp chest.
chain chomp? Yeah, that must have been muscle memory, I think.
Yeah, I suspect.
There was no reason for him to do it. He has silvers and tempered and all the keys. Or maybe like he wanted boots, but I suppose.
That's probably that and half magic are like literally the only things that would be of use.
Yeah, but if he wanted boots, honestly, then you should just gone to lava chest instead.
even though we know the boots aren't there, you should still have gone there. Yeah, go
Yeah.
to lava chest and spend the extra small key that you don't have to get the boots that aren't in lava chest.
He just banked that the last one is in here, right?
I am still like hyper curious as to where the lamp is. Like I suspect that Nilsson is gonna find the lamp in Turtle Rock here while
Yeah.
searching for a small key, which could very well be in here.
Looking likely. Unless we get the small key before the lamp, I imagine it will be in here.
You know, I just realized, Walter, is that we're gonna have the ultimate key sanity dream, especially in all dungeons where you just climb straight to the top of GT and you don't give a shit about the rest of the chests in there.
Yep, and you don't even need to worry about picking up a small key before heading up as well.
Yeah, not with 4 already.
Oh, big key for swamp.
Oh,
I don't want the turtle.
Oh god, well that's
key to be
yeah,
in
that's one of
there.
the annoying spots that Turtle Rock small could be in.
Oof. Yeah, you're not feeling good at that point.
No. Meanwhile, Kyong setting up the Trinex fight here. No, I mean that could be the lantern. It's worth pointing out. That could be the logical lantern.
Yeah. Nilsson would very much rather have it be the lamp in that big key rather than, or in that big chest rather than the Turtle Rock small key, that's for sure. Oh, map. And there's the lamp. So that answers that question.
Yep. Well, that just makes it more likely that you know, that small key could be more
Detailed
punishing.
files. It's just, we don't have time to worry about that right now. Oh, chain chomp. I really love those hugs, but
All right, made it through.
yeah,
Had a little bit of delay on the side of the door there, but luckily it was made it out in time.
Does have the powder, so it could powder some antivirus here to get some health back. But yeah, we got Mimic Cave, we got Turtle Rock Big Chest, and we got the Crystal Roller. None of those are small keys. It's looking a little bit rough. I guess it could actually be in
Mimic Cave, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to
Big
say
chest.
the laser bridge could actually be the small key too.
Oh yeah, very true. For Nilsson's sake, we hope that's the case because it'll be a brutal walk back if that's not the case.
Yeah, so like if he gets the small key in here, then the race is on, but he's definitely still behind. If it's not in here, then I don't think there's a way back at that point. So we're doing Mimic Cave here. See if we can get anything good. It's all with
Yeah.
Mimic.
Oh no!
Right,
Why are
well,
all of the keys in here just leading to terrible locations?
that might be our first item location if it's not in here.
That is brutal.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Hey, all right.
So
Man,
when it's in the vanilla dungeon, it has like a little bit of a different shade on the key.
Yeah.
It kind of
Well, and
spoils
you
it,
also
but-
see the key counter move up too. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was starting to get worried. I was like, God, what else? Like, what other terrible location can we unlock here? Like mushroom, maybe, like you mentioned. So yeah, Nilsson knows what's up now. He's skipping chests. There's really no reason for him to do much else. Now he does have boots, but honestly, Kyong is pretty far ahead at this point, just from having checked that Skullwoods chest much earlier in the game. So
Yeah, for sure. Execution alone from Nilsson won't be able to change the race at this point. Kyong would have to have some misfortune happen to him in order for this to turn around, I think.
we're talking like external misfortune here, which we hope never happens. But you know, anything is possible.
Anything is possible indeed.
Like, Sprite despawns in GT. All right, it's already too late for that. All right, so we're gonna see Nilsson's doing his Trinex fight here. I gotta say, doing Trinex with Quick Swap is so much nicer than not.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I guess doing anything with Quick Swap is better than none.
It is, I just saw from chat that got reminded that we do need to do Castle Tower still as well. Kyong doesn't have the lamp, so that's going to slow him down a little bit on that. But I think even still, Kyong is still in the lead here, because I don't think Kyong will have too much issues with the lampless one, especially since he has the fire rod.
Yeah, like it'll definitely be slower for sure, but yeah, that is a good point, chat. Well done. I mean, we're essentially an entire GT climb minus the Aga 2 fight differential at this point.
Yeah, so that's like solid about 5 minutes almost.
Pretty nice setups for Kyong here. Lots of blue balls from Aga 2. Hopefully that's not a predictor of Agan and blue balls to come.
They're both looking pretty good on time here. At this point, both of them are definitely going to get that sub 2. Which always feels good when you get like a sub 2 all dungeons key sanity. You know you did something right for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you know, both these runners have made pretty kind of smart moves. Like, you know, Nilsson definitely had he routed that swamp check in to get those mitts early, and it seemed really good at the time, but you know, delaying access to that extra bonus key for Turtle Rock definitely made him go back and do other checks, you know, that would just ended up bleeding him some time.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting to see in like a parallel universe how close they would have been to each other if Nilsson went straight up after getting that Castle Tower small key.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it, you know, at how, you know, but Nilsson just had so many overworld checks though, like, you know, the time to go up Death Mountain and into Turtle Rock and do a whole bunch of clearing to only not find a key when it could have been, you know, a 30-second check in front of you before you go anywhere. Like, you know, it's definitely one of those rando decisions you end up having to make a lot. Sometimes you just gotta play for success though, and hope the item is gonna be where you go, and just make as many reasonable decisions as you can make on the way.
Yeah, for sure. So Kyong made it through the dark rooms without almost any issues at all there. So
yeah,
really
I mean, Fire Rod and letting
well.
the torches definitely helped, but yeah, you are right, Walter, for sure.
Yeah.
Kyong's played a few games at Rando before.
I can confirm this is true. At least like once or twice.
Approximately.
Alright, so we're gonna head into the Aga fight here. See how many blue balls we get.
We gotta wait for the amazing lore cutscene here.
Yeah, it's a very cinematic cutscene.
I know, I felt really drawn into the story there. Alright, first shot always free. What do you got for us, Aghanim? Weak. Meanwhile, Nilsson making his way steadily up GT climb here. I suspect your approximately 5-minute estimate is going to be pretty close here. Meanwhile, the blue ball party continues on the left side of your screen.
Yeah, what's worse, getting multiple blue balls or getting a lot of teleports from Ganon?
Well, luckily you don't have to choose because a lot of times you just end up getting both.
This is true.
Luckily for competitive racing integrity, the amount of Ganon teleports the first time you fight him anyway, and the amount of blue balls that Aghanim throws are the same across both runners' seats. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's Aga 1 down.
Nilsson skipping out of the meme chest. Good work.
Yeah, he doesn't have any time for that right now. He's gonna head to Aga 2 instead as Kyong jumps into Ganon. Nice, getting the second slash before the text box comes out.
Yeah,
Nice.
and we even got lore instead of a dumb joke or a fact.
I didn't even read it. I almost never did.
You gotta let the magic teleport you in away into some new realities, Walter, I'm telling you. Alright, Kyong just beating the crap out of Ganon. Had more than enough hits in, but just wanted to take out his frustration on first chest, swamp, mitts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he did a nice lineup there with every time he hit Ganon, he got like bounced into the lanterns or the lamp there, so he didn't get like pushed away too far.
Yep, and wisely opting to stand in places that won't have Ganon appearing on top of his head and knocking him off the platform. So
seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
And Ganon is also dead, so it looks like Kyong is gonna take this race and put their team up to 21 points, which is quite important because it's very tight in the top for the playoff spots at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I already see all the GGs out in chat, so good work, chat.
So yeah, this win actually puts them up tied for second place together with 2 other teams. So it's gonna be a very interesting finish for the playoff spots in this group.
Yeah, the picture for each group's playoffs is definitely interesting. So it looks like we are joined in the booth by Kyong. Kyong, congratulations. Well played, sir.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, GG's, dude. On a scale between 1 and 10, how happy were you when you found those Titan Smiths?
I mean, there was only 2 locations left in the whole game. So, since it was a 50-50.5.
See?
I mean, all of Rando is a 50-50, right, Kyong?
Yeah.
But no, nicely done. Yeah, I mean, you had, I guess, one advantage for you is having done so many checks before the mitts. It kind of made your path forward once you found mitts. Kind of, did it feel straightforward? You know, once you started going into swamp and then getting all the rest of the items kind of fall into place.
It wasn't too much to deviate, I think. There were a couple interesting decisions here and there, but overall, was not
Yeah, so the big story of this seed was pretty much Nilsson went into swamp earlier than you did, so he had like a bit of a advantage and a lead for quite some time. But he didn't get the big key for Skullwoods before heading to Skullwoods, so he was missing one key for Tartarok, and kind of ended up doing some of those overworld stuff that you did before going to Swamp later on, and eventually went to Tartarok with just 2 small keys, and there was a vanilla one in the big chest of Tartarok, so he kind of lost that time that he gained early.
But I know the question that you want answered, Kyong, is where are the boots? They
Yeah,
were in the
totally.
they were in the they were in the Fat Fairy, unfortunately.
Yeah. I didn't mind it too much. I didn't really want to open too much since it could be basically anywhere, right? Could be in GT big chest for all we know. So I really didn't want to. For example, TR, right? I pretty much only checked what was right on my way. I didn't want to spend extra time looking for boots or lamps there.
No, that makes sense. Well, I mean, you know, once you got that final castle tower key, it was just kind of, you know, go.
Yeah, I was definitely a bit worried about the meats, because I spent quite a bit of time in desert and all that stuff, jumping around before going there.
Yeah, how's it feel to have to watch that that desert palace cutscene entry movie twice and still know you're gonna have to go back in there again?
It wasn't great.
Well, hey, at least you got Ice Rod on the second entry, right? It was one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah.
So, talk a little bit about how what this does for you guys for your league regional placements, or rather your divisional placements. This puts you up to I believe Walter said 20 or 21 points if memory serves.
Yeah, that sounds right. Our division has a pretty stacked, I think, 4 teams.
Yeah, at the moment there's 4 teams at the top,
4
which
teams
is
competing.
3 points separating all of them.
So it's gonna be interesting because the next and last week we're playing Pug Trio, and the other 2 teams are not playing each other. They're playing other teams. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a I mean it's gonna be intense to watch. So I mean yeah, every game you know is important. So hey, you have to do what you can to stay on top of the crazy division you guys have going. So meanwhile, Nilsson finishing up Ganon here, doing a real solid job, getting some cape strats in. Nice thing about the Ganon fight is if you do it right, even with safeties, the only time you lose is the menuing or perhaps any leg frames you generate. And with quick swap, there's not any menuing to have to worry about. So
Yeah, it needs one more hit, and that will do it. So get your GGs in for Nilsson Alex as well. So a very nice race to see from both of you.
yeah, definitely. And yeah, that approximately 5 or 6 minutes difference ended up kind of remaining the same throughout the rest of the end of that seed. So yeah, excellent. So we'll see if we can't get Nilsson Alex in here. We can. It looks like we are joined by Nilsson Alex. GG, sir.
Peace.
Yo, GG's, dude.
So yeah, we talked a little bit about it with Kyong, but man, front of Swamp Palace mitts.
Kind of have like if I followed the progression we got, and didn't really have that much to do, I think, at that point. So I felt like going to swamp might be slow, but you never know what you get.
Well, in this case, you hit Painter with those mitts.
Yeah, I didn't expect to find that. I kind of expected maybe get a small key to pod, maybe have to explore more pod, but definitely didn't think myths would be in there.
Not only myths, but required myths to actually get the small key to swamp as well.
I don't even remember where it was.
It's on the boss of desert, and the big key was myths lock. But yeah, the big story was pretty much you got into swamp earlier than Kyong and had a bit of a lead from that, but he had three small keys to Touch Rock, so when he got the Castle Tower small key, he could just like go mode the rest after that.
Yeah, I thought about like banking on Turtle Rock, just go up there, but I didn't want to gamble too much because having like if there wasn't like a small key in Turtle Rock, it would be super silly to go up there and having to go back down, try and find one. But there was one in Turtle Rock, thankfully, but I had checked too much location at that point.
Well, we were all worried for you when you were in Turtle Rock because you kept finding items that would make you go somewhere else, like the Hera basement small key or like Swamp Palace big, and we're like, no, don't let the other Turtle Rock small key be there. But it ended up being in Turtle Rock, thankfully. So
yeah, I would not have gone back to Swamp or Skullwoods. I think I still had a Smith chain at that point, so I would probably done that in Skullwoods because I was like thinking about where could I find like pod small keys or something else. There was something else I was thinking about. And at that point, that was before I had the Castle Tower small keys. I was like trying to figure out what to do at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the skull big chest was where that last Turtrock small key that Kyong got was. So he managed to get that big key before going to Skull early on.
Yeah, that's one heck of a location for that one, because I think at least I got the Skullwoods big key pretty late, because I did Hobo pretty late as well. So when I got that one, I thought it was like Swamp Palace big key, because that was before I went in Swamp Palace. So I was like, oh, nice, Swamp. And then I got Skullwoods, and I was like, oh crap, I don't want to go back in there. So it was kind of, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, for sure. You had like cleared out the most in that area already at that point. And with like other dungeons open, definitely made sense to just go for those instead. But yeah, definitely GG's to both of you. It was a very interesting race to watch. It was pretty unclear for most of the race, like who was gonna edge it out.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit in the tilt mode because I died in the dark room in Eastern very early on. So I was like, from on there, I was like just frustrated with how I was playing. And then I, like you said, the myths in Swamp, I was like, maybe that's one check Kyong might not do for a while. And then I was like, maybe I should feel good. And then when I went up to Turtle Rock, I see it was like, since we're still acting a lot of small keys to pod at that point, I was like, maybe I use my small key to go to Helma in a very bad way, because you never know when you use your keys in a stupid way. But I was like, maybe I get lucky here, but those extra checks was a little dumb.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Both of you went for pod before heading up to Touch Rock.
Yeah, getting that Castle Tower key out of there definitely was a big time save.
Yeah, made sure that none of you had to like do anything in Gannis Tower except for Aga, so that was very nice.
Yeah, that is what I was hoping Kyong would do. Just like search whole of GT. But I was like, when I saw the race room after Ganon, I was like, oh god damn it. But GG's Kyong, and thank you Walter and Files for doing the commentary, and thank you for the tracking and for SpeedGaming to restream it.
Yeah, definitely a big shout out to 2D Tunes for making the tracking in this during this race. Definitely a bit more
Yeah, with
more
the
to
key
keep track of with
sanity,
all
all
the keys,
dungeons,
yeah.
there's a lot more things to click. So yeah, definitely props. So yeah, thanks again to you two for a great race. It was a pleasure talking over your great gameplay. So yeah, that'll about wrap us up here for this match. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye on the league. The closer we get toward the end of the league, the more interesting it gets with different people clinching playoffs, and matches are still important all the way to the end. So make sure you keep watching.
Yeah, for sure. We have a couple of more races coming up this evening. First one starting at 7 p.m., but then they just keep going. At 8 p.m., for example, we have SailorNet versus Futon, which is also in this group, and that's 2 of those 4 teams in the top at the moment. So that's definitely going to be important for potential playoff situations.
So yeah, make sure you stay tuned to the SpeedGaming family channels and check out the league Twitch channel as well and the website. And yeah, just stay tuned. So that'll about do it for us. So we'll catch you guys next time.